out of Goldsboro.
Okay, yeah.
And he used to be pretty good.
Well, if you're born in case I bought mine, I'll always bring it. Would you give me an invitation?
Call the meeting to order. If everyone would please stand. Tony, would you do the next?
Our Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for this community. Thank you to the people here tonight. Thank you for all your blessings. And thank you for you be the reason for the season. And be with us now as we do duties of this town for the betterment of this town. For it's in your name we pray, O Lord. Amen.
Amen. Would you join me in the pledge, please? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Take this opportunity to welcome each of you, and got pretty well almost a full house tonight. And after a 2-month absence, I'm glad to be back. I had quite an experience with Vidant. Okay. Item number 5 is approval of the agenda. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for approval of the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item number 6 is installation and oath of office for newly elected town officials. I'm just going to do it the way it's listed on, excuse me, on this agenda. The first one is Councilman Ricky Hine. And I don't know who's going to swear him in, but,
Senator Davis.
okay. If you could come right up here. Yeah, I see it now. All you got to do is look.
Let me get out of the way.
Yeah.
Important.
Well, first I want to say good evening, Mayor Pro Tem to the council, distinguished councilman, to all the guests that are here today. Ricky, this is indeed an honor, kind of an honor and a blessing. We're reminded today that we are saved by grace. Yes. The impact. And we're that today with you as you share with me. If you would like to just introduce your family.
First and foremost is my son Christian. This is my mom Mary, my sister Phyllis, my sister Kim, and one that's not with us is my wife Beverly. She passed May 9th of this year, but in her honor, I'm wearing a watch with her face on my watch because time will never heal what I'm feeling. But time will go on, but she will always be close with me.
Amen. At this time, I'm going to ask if you can please place your left hand on the Holy Bible. And it's actually the statute that we are to raise our hands to the heaven as we have our state flag and our U.S. flag with us. And if you could please repeat after me. I, please state your full name,
I, Richard Earl Hines,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
I will support
and maintain
and maintain
the Constitution
the Constitution
and laws
and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
and laws
and laws
of North Carolina,
of North Carolina,
not
not
inconsistent
inconsistent
therewith,
therewith,
and that I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
discharge
discharge
the duties
the duties
of my office
of my office
as town councilman
of town councilman.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations to you. Again, thank you for that honor, and Merry Christmas to all.
Okay. The second council person is Tony Moore, being sworn in by Judge Daniel Etzminger.
People might be wondering why I chose Daniel. Daniel's been in my family. His father used to work for me many, many years ago. When he got very sick, I said, you don't need to help me on my campaign, so help me get work. He said, I will help you anyway. And as sick as he was, he still came every day to help me until he died. So I said, it was perfect to invite Daniel tonight to swear me in. Otherwise, I just had anybody who came to a special. Yes, thank you.
It's my great honor and privilege to be here, be with y'all tonight. Spent a lot of time in the town of Winterville. Grew up working over at the Dixie Queen restaurant right across the way. And I learned a lot in that particular line of work. And it's a privilege and honor to be able to swear in my cousin Tony Moore tonight. So I appreciate that, Tony. If you'll repeat after me, please place your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand. This is the oath of office. I state your name.
I, Tony Moore,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and maintain
that I will support and maintain
the Constitution
the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
and laws of North Carolina,
and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of my
the
office
duties of my office
as town councilman.
as town council.
So help me God.
So help me God.
The next council member is Miss Veronica Robertson, and be sworn in by Miss Cheryl Jordan, Chief Magistrate.
Well, as first, I give you the council members and the citizen of the mayor. Veronica and I grew up on Tyson Street, together, so I've been knowing Veronica all my life. And would you like to introduce yourself?
These are my granddaughters, Jaya and Olivia. They helped out when I was first sworn in. They think this is their job. My cousin's sister Daisy. She's just like a sister. She hangs right with me. No matter what I'm doing, she's always there to encourage.
Step in with the Bible, raise your right. You repeat after me. I state your full name.
I, Veronica Ward Robertson,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and maintain
that I will support and maintain
the Constitution and laws of the United States
the Constitution and laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the North Carolina,
and the Constitution and laws of the state of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office
as town councilwoman,
as town councilwoman,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Mayor, I'll make a motion, we take a 5-minute break, so some folks might want to take some pictures or do some other things.
Okay, this is pretty customary that we do take a 5-minute break after the installation, but we have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
And a motion and a second that we take a 5-minute break. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Thank you.
Don't let her give up.
Okay, when I get back, if not, I can do that. I'm just,
Exactly.
this week lasts an hour, I'll be very happy with that. Well, I noticed in January, like it always is, it's on the night of the national championship.
Oh, is it? I didn't look at that.
All right, well,
Oh, my goodness. All right.
January is on national championship night. Okay. Well, great, yeah, Caleb, yeah, he's getting bigger, you know, my little son's a sophomore, he's a star. KK ain't quite good, but he's a star. He's getting bigger. I actually appreciate all those guys did well. He had me. Did you help me? Y'all had a great season. Good to see you.
Johnny, what's been going on?
It's been no news because I haven't seen anything in the paper about Johnny Morris. I haven't seen nothing on people.
Well, I appreciate you, I'm trying to remember, did you call or came by? I can't remember who it is.
That's okay, but the main thing, I made contact.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I remember that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna tell you, I lay in the hospital 2 weeks. It never even took me out of bed. 2 weeks. Finally, did anything. I don't know how active I still was. We did 25 down there. 20 pounds. I will say that the food seems like maybe it's just me, and rehab seems to be a little better. But over the other side, I see Martha has played the game, and how do I get it off? Right, just like that. Down here somewhere is, there it is right there. Yep. She,
Nothing wrong with that, my kids just, well, all kinds of things on it. Well, I don't have to worry about Lisa doing all that, she's got a laptop.
okay.
She does her stuff on.
Well, some of the
Makes it mighty tough.
Hey, do y'all know, I'm probably, I don't know, it might be the first councilman that's been sworn in with everybody.
All right.
Do what now?
I'm probably the first councilman that's been sworn in with everybody.
When you say everybody on the board.
Last time I was sworn in,
Yeah? Yeah? I see what you're saying.
good job.
Yeah? Might be. You're probably right.
That's a first. Because usually it's staggered terms.
That's right.
Staggered terms.
That's right.
So I have the luxury of being the first. Be sworn in with every one of my.
Oh, unique.
That's right. I'm always unique. All unique. Terry, you know, I'm probably the first that's been sworn in with every council member on the board.
Ever since
So,
that
no,
last
I
one,
know.
I sworn in for town meeting.
These guys. Now I sworn in with Tony and Veronica.
Hey,
I
I
mean-
didn't even thought about that. Y'all be doing some good things.
Always. Always. West side. Oh,
Is this?
wingback.
Huh?
Okay, that's what I thought. Right. Just checking. Okay, Mayor, we're behaving.
We will call the meeting back to order. Item number 7 is appointment of the mayor pro tem. And I will just mention this, when I was first elected, Bobby Crawford was the clerk. And I asked Bobby, I said, Bobby, what's the procedure that you use to elect the mayor pro tem? He said, in the past, it's always been the council member with the most seniority. Who is the most seniority? Is it Tony, are you the most seniority?
I came in with you.
Well, yeah, but you skipped
Right.
the term.
But long-term, you're talking about continuous, you're right.
Well, he didn't say go to the long term, but anyhow, what is the pleasure of the, board?
I nominate Mark Smith. He's the longest continuous serving member of the board.
Is there a second?
Mayor, I believe you all, I don't mean to interrupt, but in previous nominating processes, you all decided you would just take nominations and then you would go and vote on
Yeah.
each nomination. So I don't think we've been taking seconds
You
on the
you
nomination.
don't need a second for a nomination, but then you would
Okay.
ask for any other nominations.
All right, are there any other nominations?
I'd like to nominate Ms. Robinson.
Are there other nominations? Okay, hearing none, I'll close the nominations. All in favor of Mr. Smith, please raise your hand. Okay, all in favor of Ms. Robinson, please raise your hand. Okay, Ms. Robinson is now the mayor pro tem. We'll double your pay. All right. Item number 8 is a public hearing on E&S Homes rezoning request.
Good evening, council. Hope everyone was doing well tonight. As stated, we have a rezoning request before you. So E&S Homes LLC is the applicant. Just some site data for you. It's located on Chapman Street, north of its intersection with Main Street. It's actually 2 pieces of property there, parcels 4666 and 4665. It's a total of 0.4 acres. Current zoning is R6, and they're proposing or requesting the zoning district be changed to central business, and that's to allow for the existing building on the site to be used for office space. So just real quick, central business district is to maintain and enhance a compact business area for the retailing of durable and convenience goods and personal services for the surrounding community. So just to bring you up to date on our notifications. So property owners adjacent were mailed out on November 22nd. A public hearing notice was published in the Daily Reflector on the 27th of November and the 4th of this month. Sign was actually posted on site back in October before the planning and zoning meeting, and additional notifications were also sent out prior to the P&Z meeting as well. Planning and zoning did unanimously recommend approval of this rezoning request at their October 21st meeting. So here's your site outlined in red there. So you can see Depot Street just to the north, Main to the south. There's Chapman, there's Main and Mill down here. So the intersection of Main and Mill here. Just to zoom in aerial over, you can see the existing building here. Here's an overlay of the rezoning map there. So you can see it actually does encompass those two parcels. So your current zoning, so all this is R6 right now, and that's surrounded by general business and some central business transition overlay, and then central business to over here in the traditional downtown. So existing land use map, it's kind of faded on this thing, but it's actually designated as office space was what it was being used for primarily with the ODMS building. And you can see it, if you can kind of see it, it's got some vacant land, but for the most part, the whole thing was being used for that. Future land use plan, so our newly adopted future land use plan shows this as a mixed use character area. So our mixed use character area is for a mix of commercial, retail, and restaurants and other service oriented businesses. You can see our potential zoning. The main one is central business for mixed use. So planning staff does find the request is reasonable and in public interest because the proposed zoning district is compatible with the surrounding land uses and the future land use plan. So staff does recommend approval of the rezoning request to rezone 0.4 acres from R6 to central business. So just a part of the process, P&Z again did unanimously recommend the approval at the October 21st meeting, and council will now hold a public hearing to hear arguments for and against this request. And before that, I'll answer any questions and let you know also Mr. Brandon Smith with ENS Homes is in attendance tonight if you have any questions for him as well.
Anyone have any questions? If not, I declare the public hearing open. Anyone that would like to speak in favor of this request?
How you doing? I'm Brandon Smith. I want to speak in favor of this rezoning request. We are the applicants, and just want to talk about what we're going to do with this facility and what we have our vision for with this facility. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm not from Winterville originally. I grew up on Frog Level Road outside of Winterville, but I went to all Winterville schools, W.H. Robinson, A.G. Cox, so I consider myself very much part of Winterville. My dad was the Winterville EMS chief for a number of years, 6, 8 years. I'm not even 100% sure when I was younger, so I spent an exorbitant amount of time at this rescue building, just drawing on the chalkboard while he did what dads do when they're busy. And it's just awesome for me to have this opportunity to kind of circle around and to repurpose it. So now I'm gonna put this building to work like he did and all the other people that volunteered such a long time ago. The building has been in disrepair last 15 years since they've been out of it. We have a really nice vision for what the building's going to look like. We think it's going to benefit the community because we're just taking it out of disrepair, put some love and TLC into it, and it will be just office space for our construction company. So, our guys will meet there in the morning, and we'll disperse throughout the day and go do what we do in the community, and leadership will stay in the house and do what we do at the computers. So, we're excited about this opportunity. We're excited to come back to the Winterville community. And just contribute, however we can. I mean, I'm really excited, and I appreciate y'all taking the time to listen to me. So, any questions, just let me know.
Is that the former rescue building? Is that the one?
Yes, sir.
So your business constructs homes?
we're a construction company. We primarily are residential construction. I'm a realtor and a licensed contractor, so we buy, sell, and fix houses in every shape, form, and fashion. We just brought a house back to life on Corbett Street, and we close on Friday. So, I mean, what we do is good for everybody. In any community that we do our work, it helps.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else that would like to speak in favor? Anyone that would like to speak in favor? Anyone that would like to speak in opposition? Anyone that would like to speak in opposition? Hearing none, what's the board's pleasure?
Move approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second for approval. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, thank you. Okay, the next is public comment, and I'm required to read this every time. The public comment period of 30 minutes provides an opportunity for residents to comment on any item included in the agenda or to address the town council on any other matter related to the town of Winterville. For an item included in the public hearing section of the agenda, residents should address the council at the time the mayor invites public comment on the item. No public comment may be made to the council during the meeting except during the public comment period or as part of a public hearing. Individual speakers are limited to a maximum of 3 minutes and no more action, on the matter addressed, and no more than 3 speakers may address the council on a single matter. The town council may elect to take no action on the matter addressed by the speaker, may schedule the matter for further consideration at a future council meeting, or may refer the matter to the town staff for disposition. Copies of the town's public comment policy are available in the rear of the assembly room. With that being said, Dr. Glenn Johnson signed up to speak.
Good evening, Your Honor, Council, the Honorable Ms. Terry Parker, Town Manager, and Ms. Veronica Robinson. And I can't go any further without saying specifically hello to Mr. Moy. I'm going to keep in compliance with the 3 minutes, so without further ado.
He saw me eyeballing Don.
I finally got it right there. Anyway, as a result of my first encounter with the realtors that was in the session that I met in Raleigh at the General Assembly and Legislation Building, ever since that day, and all my other encounters with the brain injury conferences, panels of doctors and other individuals that have brain injuries, I thought about something that's very near and dear to my heart, and that is living conditions for these types of individuals, including any individual recovering from any medical situation. You know, my attorney was very instrumental in my relocating here to North Carolina, but he was also very instrumental in my relocating from the nursing facility to my own apartment. And I'm going to get to that slide in a minute to show you the building, because what I liked about that building was my doctor's office was in the building itself. So that afforded me a lot of different things. And also it was right directly next door to the medical center that I had to visit every so often. So that's why I'm trying to get to that slide right quick, just to show you that particular building. Just bear with me 1 second. Anyway, I'm gonna get to that one in a second. But he was very instrumental in me getting to that facility. After talking to some of the coordinators that's affiliated here in North Carolina with brain injury and other medical conditions. I told them my advocacy for, different constructions of facilities to house individuals with these various needs. I received an email from one particular resident, and she said, you know what, Dr. Johnson, that would be such an excellent idea. She would be supportive of it, as well as some other residents that I talked to. And basically, without reading the entire email, she wrote, we moved to Winterville in 2006 from Knightdale, North Carolina. My husband and I are retired seniors. We immediately noticed that there are very limited apartments for senior living. And she said she would love to see more places for senior living here in North Carolina and Winterville itself. I have forwarded these documents and slides to Mr. Penn and Mr. Jones, and I'm going to also do the same for Mr. Ben Williams. So thank you very much for listening. I'm just out of time. Thank you so much.
Dr. Johnson.
I had to keep it within that 3 minutes.
Okay. Item number 10 is the consent agenda. Do I hear a motion we approve the consent agenda, or
So moved.
did I?
Second.
And a second. Have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Okay. Moving on to item number 11, old business, Noble Canal Bank stabilization.
I would say that Ben has two very important guests with him this evening.
Yeah, I met those.
Stand up.
Oh, goodness.
Stand up. You all know them. You folks don't. This is my son Latham Williams and my daughter Avery Williams. Their mom's working this evening, so they're hanging out with Dad tonight. You're done.
And we're so glad to have them.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Welcome back, Mayor. Good to have you back. The item before you, old business, we've been discussing bank stabilization along Noble Canal. The item before you this evening is an authorizing resolution authorizing the filing of a grant application to the Division of Water Resources Water Resource Development Project Grant Program to request funding assistance to aid in the construction cost of some bank stabilization efforts along those portions of Noble Canal with the severe erosion. The application would be for approximately $180,000. That's a dollar for dollar 50% match. So we would be, if awarded and accepted the grant, we would be committing to half of the construction cost of that project.
Mr. Williams, have we applied for this grant in the past?
We submitted an application, I want to say in 2016, and it was for a larger project. And the proposed improvements were a little more severe, if you will, rather than just a spot-specific riprap or the rock installation that we are proposing here. And that one was denied when we applied previously.
So do you need a motion to?
Would need a motion and a vote on the authorizing resolution to apply.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
No.
Was that a 3-2?
I think it was 3-2. I tell you what, all in favor, raise your hand, please. That way we'll know exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, all opposed, raise your hand. So
Sometimes
motion,
it's
the
hard to
motion
know.
carries.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 2 on the old business is the sanitary sewer rehab.
This item, if you recall, in 2018, the town applied for funding assistance for our sanitary sewer collection rehabilitation program or project. We were approved for the full amount of $3,532,000. Our application was strong enough such that we were awarded a $500,000 principal forgiveness. So that is money that we do not have to pay back. Therefore, we can consider that a grant. So what you have before you this evening is the offer and acceptance or a resolution to accept the loan offer from the state in the amount of $3,032,200 for a 20-year term. That loan amount will be at 0% interest. That work is still underway with regard to engineering, permitting. We have not bid that project out. These are estimated costs. The actual cost will be what comes in as the contractor and as we move through the project and what we pay out.
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second for approval. Part of that project was moving the lift station from Craft Winds, wasn't it?
That one's already done. That component was when we built the new pump station off of Old Tar Road. This project here is all gravity sewer line rehab, whether it be slip lining or spot repair or complete replacement. Now let's not confuse that one with the pump station application that we have in the hopper currently. So we've been doing a lot of work on the sewer side of things.
We need that.
It's all necessary work, absolutely.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
All right. Thank you.
Under new business, Pedro Baldrus Trust, final plat.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. So we got Pedro Balderas Trust, it's a final plat. So this one's out on Old Tar, it's south of its intersection with Laura Yellis. This is actually in our ETJ. Parcel number 07032. It's 1 lot, 1 acres. The zoning is AR. So this is a minor subdivision, and just to refresh your memory on minor subdivision requirements, it's less than 5 lots, less than 10 acres, no dedication of new streets, and it doesn't involve the dedication of land for open space, school sites, or other public services. So the approval process doesn't require a preliminary plat submittal. And so the final plat would be approved by council on recommendation by planning and zoning. Planning and zoning did have hear this one at their November 18th meeting and unanimously recommended approval of the final plat. So just a site plan of it. So this one, you guys are familiar with the Piedmont natural gas line run through. So this will be the north side of the property. You can actually see the easement here running along their property. Tried to highlight it, but it doesn't work on this. So this is a site here. So you can see Laura Yellis, Old Tar here, and actually be right in here. So you can see an overlay of it right there. And then you can see the easement running along in this general vicinity. So with that said, I'll answer any questions and let you know that Mr. Dirk Tyson with GUC Gas is with us. Sorry, go ahead.
No, Brian, I was just gonna say, did I hear you say what it was gonna be used for?
Well, I did not say what it was going to be
Okay.
used for yet. GUC is going to use it for utility lot, so it'll be in association with that Piedmont natural gas line. So as I was saying, Mr. Dirk Tyson with GUC Gas is in attendance. So if you got any technical questions or specific questions about that, he'd be able to answer those. After this, obviously, they would have to meet the requirements of a site plan submittal for all that good stuff, so it would be vegetated and screened properly, so.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for approval. Tell me again where it's
Yeah,
located.
that's what I wanted.
So, Laura Ellis, so you got the four-way stop up here with Walgreens pretty much north of us. So you can see Ellis Woods is down here. Actually, it'll be right here. So this is the intersection of Laura Ellis and Laura Ellis this way, Old Tar. So Brookfield subdivision will be right here, just north of it. So you got Mill and Downs down here. Does that help you guys?
It's just past the old that big two-story house.
What used to
Because
be.
Lori Ellis
Yeah.
Road and the big two-story house.
Further down.
Further down.
Further, there's the old, is that what you're talking about, maybe, the old, what they call the old Lord?
Old Tar Road.
Oh, okay, yeah, that would be sitting right there, right at the entrance of Brookfield, so yeah, go south of it, go on past Lori Ellis Road, and it'll be just down your left.
Okay. Where the daffodils or whatever.
A little bit before that, yeah, so you go down like almost to Jack Jones Road, so it's
Okay.
almost right there, yeah.
And this is gonna be what, a staging area or something?
No, it'll be just a utility lot, and
Okay.
I don't know the total specifics, that's why you would have to direct those questions to Mr. Tyson if you got any questions.
All right. Yeah, I would have a question. If I could ask that question.
It's gonna be a whole acre.
Mayor, I believe Councilman Hines has a question for Mr. Tyson.
Yes, is it gonna be what, like I said, I know the pipeline is going through there, and what else is?
Right. So you've seen where Piedmont Natural Gas is building their new transmission main. Greenville Utilities would locate a meter station on this, where we would connect the local distribution gas lines to Piedmont's line, and we'd take gas off their line there.
Oh, okay.
Any other questions I can answer for anyone?
Any
Thank
further
you.
questions? We have a motion and a second. All in,
Is that, just one quick question, is that gonna be a fenced-in area?
Yes, sir.
So I'm assuming they've gotta do vegetation. and
Absolutely.
normal.
any other questions? All in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. Motion carries. Thank you.
Yeah, I remember that when we went.
Okay, item number 2 is a comprehensive plan training session.
All right, so I think we brought up this last meeting, Councilman Hines actually, I think was the one that brought it up, and it was timely, about a possible training session on the comprehensive land use plan. So part of our agreement with Stewart Consulting is that they would actually provide that training in a half-day session. So the proposal before you guys tonight is to have that session on January 30th, February 4th, or February 6th. That would be January 30th is a Thursday, February 4th is a Tuesday, and February 6th is a Thursday. All these would be about 3 hours in the morning. We would start about 8:30, 9 o'clock, be wrapped up before lunch, do it down at the train depot, but get in the room with you guys, and possibly if we get some planning and zoning board members in there with us, just to get us all on the same page. But Stewart would be leading that training up, basically just giving us an overview of what we should be expecting from the use of that plan and going forward with any development plans.
Dates one more time. I'm
So
sorry.
January 30th, February 4th, or February 6th.
As you all are considering your calendar commitments, I believe the 27th, I'm looking at Dawn, of January it's on your meeting schedule. I believe we're scheduled to have our vision setting meeting. So I just want to call your attention to whether you want a couple long meetings in the same week or not. Staff's a go either way.
And each meeting is 3 hours long.
I'm probably gonna block off 4 just in case you guys get rambunctious and have a lot of questions, but I don't anticipate it being about 2.5, maybe 3 hours long.
It's
So-
not all days, you're just asking for one day.
Just one day, and it'll be in the morning, so we'll be done by lunchtime and be wrapped up, yep.
So we're asking for a council decision on one of these three suggested dates, if everyone's available.
February 4th works for me.
What about 6?
I can do 6.
6.
Will somebody can we get a motion?
Oh,
No, we just putting it out, I mean, just in
Oh.
case somebody else have another date.
Yeah.
February 6th.
yeah, I can do February 6th, and I'll make a motion if everybody else will do it.
You make a motion that we do it on February the 2nd, is that right?
6.
Hey,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
That's all.
I just want to make sure everybody else is fine with it before I make the motion.
So we got a motion that be held on the 6th.
Well, I'll make a motion that we hold the meeting on February the 6th.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
And a second. Discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay.
Thank you.
Item number 3 is District 1A Electric Territory Expansion Design.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. Back in October, you received a presentation from Pike Engineering in regards to District 1A as it was classified. That's the area east of Old Tar Road and in between Laurie Ellis and Worthington, from Fork Swamp back west into town. It's kind of the geographic footprint of that area. It's the area where several subdivisions and developments are looking. We were charged with negotiating with Pike Engineering a contract for that engineering work. We have went into negotiations. I feel like we've got a good proposal from them. We did go back and forth on several items. Scope of work changed a little bit. I feel like we got more work for less money than what we originally started out at. So I'm very comfortable with what we're presenting to you tonight. We're presenting to you a possible contract, if you approve, for $103,000. That will include all engineering work required for District 1A of the new electric service territory, of which Greenville Utilities Yard will be a customer.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second for approval. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, item number 4 is the street improvement project.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Bring forward this item, which is an engineering contract for this year's street improvements project. The contractor's actually just getting started on last year's project this week, but we want to go ahead and get the engineering done so we can bid the project out before it gets warm in the spring and get the work done before the end of the fiscal year, hopefully. This work will include milling and resurfacing Milton Drive and Roxy Court, including some storm drain repairs on Milton Drive, some small storm drain repairs on Corey Street, and also some curb and gutter and street improvements on Cedar Ridge Drive that are a carryover from this year's project that we didn't have the money available for. And we're just asking for approval of the engineering contract. Once plans and specs are completed, we'll bid the project out and come back to you for a construction contract.
Move approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second for approval. Any discussion? That didn't include Cooper Street?
Cooper Street's a DOT street, and it still is scheduled to be done. I spoke with DOT about that recently, and it's still on the books. They're just waiting on their money situation.
They're broke.
Spend money, do they?
They need
Okay.
somebody to manage themselves.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay. Are there other agenda items?
Not to my knowledge, Mayor.
Okay. Items for future agendas or work sessions? Okay.
Yes, I think I might have one. The type of vehicles that we need to have parking besides the resident in the street. I think we already have an ordinance for tractor and trailers. But I think there's other types of vehicles like a tractor trailer itself, just the tractor itself, or a long bed trailer without no lights, or, you know, something that will hinder vision when you're coming down the street in your neighborhood. I found out that we've been having some problem with those type situations. I'd like for us to, if we could have some sort of session on it, talk about it and see if we can do something different or add to what we already have in place.
Councilman Moy, may I piggyback on that?
Yes.
Councilman Moy made me aware of a specific situation in a residential neighborhood today where we have a truck that has an attached trailer, which makes the entire vehicular space much larger than just a regular vehicle. I am also aware, and it's not just necessarily residential sections, but throughout town where we've got trucks, full-size trucks that have full-size trailers. Some of these trailers are enclosed, others are not, that are parked indefinitely on town streets. And it is at least a partial concern of staff. We need to drill down into it and do some more checking. I really haven't had a conversation with Chief Will Height as of yet, but the potential for traffic hazards that these situations may cause. So if council's okay with putting that as a future item, we'll have staff sort of drilling down into that subject so we can bring it back. We'll try to have something back for discussion, at least a report by the January meeting.
Thank you.
I think that's a good idea. There's one right down the street here.
Right.
A trailer hooked behind a truck, and it's his garbage collection. He's got the truck filled up inside and outside the truck and the trailer with what I assume is trash or garbage. It's been there now for several months.
It's definitely something that I have heard about from concerned folks more in the last couple of recent months than I have in times past. So definitely think it warrants a look into the subject.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, good.
Do we need
Item
to
number
make a motion on that?
I don't need a motion. I'll just make sure it's denoted, and staff will start working on that for at least a report by January.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 15 is reports from department heads.
Not Evan.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just a few things for you upcoming for Parks and Rec. We do have Cal Ripken baseball registration that's ages 7 through 12. That starts on January 1st, and our annual Daddy-Daughter Dance. That registration also starts January 1st. The Daddy-Daughter Dance has been an extremely popular event for us the past, I think this is our 4th or 5th year. So if you know anybody interested in signing up for that, tell them to sign up early so that they don't miss out. And that's all I got for you. Thank you.
Okay. Who's next?
It's like a quiet crowd tonight.
Don't all jump up at one time.
It looks like it. Okay, so we'll move, nobody else, no staff would like to speak, so we'll move on to our counselor.
How about, anybody speak on the cemetery?
Councilman Moore, we have added that to the list of projects.
Okay.
However, due to no budgetary funds included in this year's budget, staff is at best having some conversation on how best to get some cost estimates together on that.
Just curious, how long has it been since we've sold a plot? Do they have any plots available at all?
We do not. It is
Just
my
curious.
understanding, it's probably been, I'm looking at Anthony not to put him on the spot, but
3 years probably?
it could be 2 years, 3 years, I'm not sure, since we actually had an open plot to sell.
I think that little corner we did is a lot, a few years ago, 2 years ago.
And those went quickly.
It's been several years since we had clear title lots, so to speak, just for open sale.
Right.
As you know, the council has over time whittled down, you know, who could buy, and as the number of available lots became reduced, what lots we have sold have been through, I would say, personal transactions that have come back, funneled back through the town. People have asked for reimbursements for the plot because they weren't going to use it, and those plots have been reissued, so to speak. So as of right now, we still are full, we don't have any. But if somebody says they're not gonna be using theirs, they do have the right to sell it back to the town at the amount that it was, purchased at.
The same amount. Thank you. That's all.
So we do recognize the need and the desire of council to want to make that available. We do also know that'll be a big ticket item in the budget, so.
What, I just have a question about, someone approached me about the dumpster behind the cemetery and the potholes and everything else. And so.
If the concerns are potholes, we can certainly pass that along to the county.
Right.
Travis may
I
have
think
some
they've already
insight.
fixed that. I met with the county out there a couple weeks ago, and they were meeting with the contractor right after that to redo that whole area. And I believe somebody in town that called last week said the place was closed and they're doing the work right now. So,
We can double check.
yeah, I'll ride out there tomorrow and double check.
Okay.
But the county they're gonna repave that whole area, regrade it, try to, it always holds water right there by that gate.
Yeah.
They're gonna regrade that, cut a swell in and repave that whole area.
All right,
So.
thank you. I will pass it along. I got stopped in the grocery store. I asked about that.
Best conversations in the grocery store.
It is.
I
It
know.
is. Okay, anything else? If not, we'll move on to,
Mayor, I have no report, and we have no closed session tonight. I would just like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Thank you.
okay.
I was disappointed about the parade. Glad it would have been later in the year. But I followed it after that stormy day. I'm sorry I missed the parade. That's all I have. Merry Christmas to everyone.
Thank everybody for their work with the celebration anyway. Can't help the weather, but I know our town departments work together to celebrate that day. Firemen, enjoy your Christmas party. And all the other people that work with the town, we're thankful for everything that you do. And I do want to thank the citizens for their confidence in re-electing me. And I do hope everyone has a wonderful holiday season.
Just wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
I'd like to commend the ones who placed the decoration that we have in the street. I mean, it is beautiful. I know it's, you probably say that it's the same decoration that we have had for a couple of years, but to me, this year look a little bit different. Might be because of more lights, and I don't see any lights out. If you do, notify Miss Terry.
That's right.
That's right. And if you see any decoration lights out, just let her know. And also, I like to say that even though it rained on our Christmas parade, I enjoyed myself. I really did. Even though with the small crowd, I said if there was only just one out there, I want to make sure that we have a joyous time. And we did. I really enjoyed myself. And again, to each one of you, to all of your family, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I also, too, like to thank the citizens of Winterville for re-electing me again. Really appreciate it. And also, kudos to Councilman Smith for pinch hitting for the mayor.
Yes, did a good
during the
job.
parade. Did a good job, Mayor. He stepped in and he hit a home run for you, buddy. He tried to get us to sing, but we all ran. Like blind mice, we ran. But with all that saying, Merry Christmas to everyone and to the department heads. I do, and I think the council do too. We appreciate all the work that y'all put in every year. Y'all do an excellent job keeping the town running, and it shows with the little article that we had, the ninth best. And kudos to you, Terry, for being the head of this organization and keeping the wheels going, and we really appreciate it. Thank you.
okay. I'd just like to take this opportunity to congratulate the 3 council members that were sworn in tonight. I really missed a lot. I was out for 2 months from the town board meetings, and I was in the hospital for a month, and glad to be back. I couldn't even vote this year. I was in the hospital.
That's my one vote.
But again, I wish each and every one a very happy and Merry Christmas. I think mine is gonna be much better than I anticipated it to be. Thank you. Doctor?
Mayor, members of the council, first of all, I'd like to congratulate those of you all that get the pleasure of continuing to work with. Welcome and congratulations. I would like to commend staff, say thank you to all of you sitting out there and all of your staff. I was honored and blessed as of December 31st to reach my 30th year in local government and to do it here in Winterville. After 10.5 years of being here, I am honored to still be here. We're having fun every day, and I just want to say thank you because thank you.
And don't go nowhere.
I don't plan to. It is a fun place to be, and a lot of good things are going on. And I just want to thank council and staff because whether citizens know it or not, you've got a great group here, and we're going to continue to try to put out good work. Mayor, I am thrilled to have you back. Mayor Pro Tem Smith, you did a great job. And Mayor, it wasn't the same without you.
Well, I appreciate that, and it was not the same, me not being here, I tell you. I've never had anything I've been in the hospital several times for little minor things, but 1 month, never been in there that long before, but I'm doing fine.
We're glad you're back, and congratulations to the upcoming Mayor Pro Tem Robertson. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
With that being said,
motion.
do I hear a motion we adjourn?
No, we gotta go in closed session?
No closed session.
No closed session.
Oh, no closed
No
session. I'm
closed
sorry.
session.
Do we have any announcements?
I don't think so.
There's no announcement?
Oh, well, we do on the agenda.
Yes. Thank you.
I'll be glad to share the announcements
Yes.
we've got, and I know that Police Chief will welcome the first one, and that's this Friday, Cops on the Roof. So everybody go out to Walmart on Greenville Boulevard, buy a bike, and donate it to the police of our area. Everybody, go get a bike. If you can't, they're accepting donations to put together for it. Tentatively, planning and zoning will be next Monday, December 16th. And tentatively, Board of Adjustment will be Tuesday, December 17th. Then on Saturday, December the 21st is Shop with a Cop, where our police force will again be helping those in our neighborhood that are in need of a joyous holiday time. The Christmas holidays this year are Tuesday, December 24th, Wednesday, December 25th, and Thursday, December 26th. Offices will be closed those 3 days. And then New Year's Day, which is Wednesday, January 1st, 2020. Offices will be closed also. We thank you, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank each and every one and to wish each of you all a Merry Christmas.
Thank you. I make a motion, we adjourn.
Remind me about the announcement.
Yes, second. Yes, sir. I second.
We got a motion and a second to adjourn then. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, okay.
Oh, my gracious. For some reason, I was thinking. I was getting that. I don't know why I was getting that.